There's not a day that goes by where I don't look at you and think, seriously though, you look unbelievable. Our journey together has definitely been an eventful one. If you told most people the things that we've been through, they'd probably say we were lying. Like how you used to spy on me through your brother's bedroom door. We have already had such a big journey, and it is only the beginning. You come into my life a long time ago and changed my world. And then you came into Florence's life, and my world became ours. I can't begin to tell you how much you mean to her and how lucky she is to have you. Dr. Thomas Keir, my guy, my best man, my biggest pain in the arse. I literally owe you so much, man. There was a time when things weren't great, they were a bit tough. And you took me in and you opened up your world to me. You showed me that it didn't matter what you had or where you came from, but that if people needed help, you gave it to them. You helped me more than you'll ever know. And I repaid you by taking Amber off your hands. Twice.
The philosophy professor stood before his class with some items in front of him. And when the class began, he picked up a very large, empty mayonnaise jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks. He asked the students if the jar was now full, and they agreed that it was. So then the professor picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. The pebbles rolled into the spaces between the rocks. He asked the students, "Is the jar now full?" They agreed it was. He then picked up a box of sand, poured it into the jar, shook the jar, and the grains of sand found their way between the rocks and the pebbles. He asked the students, "Is the jar now full?" They agreed definitely it was. The professor then picked up 2 bottles of Guinness from under the table and poured the contents into the jar. The students laughed. "Now," said the professor, "I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The rocks are the important things. Your family, each other, your children. Things that if everything else was lost, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter. Your work, your home, your car. And the sand is everything else, the small stuff. But you see, if you put the sand into the jar first, there is no room for the pebbles or the rocks. The same goes for your life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are important. There will always be time to go to work, clean the house, give a dinner party, fix the leaking tap. Take care of the rocks first. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand. But then one of the students raised her hand and inquired, what were the bottles of Guinness for? What did they represent? The professor smiled. He said, "I'm glad you asked. It just goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem, there's always room for a couple of bottles of Guinness."
single bit of your character. From the way you can neck a fillet of fish with a pint of wine, to how you can conduct yourself as a very talented artist, business leader, all-round badass, but most importantly to me, stepmom. Every part of you makes me and Flo and everyone around you smile, and I'm so proud to be your husband. You've always been there for me, and I promise I will always be there for you. I'll never let you walk alone, and I promise to always be by your side. I promise to cherish every second I have of you in this world, because no measure of time with you on this earth will ever be enough.